I was in class on Zoom. I wanted to go to sleep, honestly, because like when I'm tired, I go to sleep. I end up falling asleep and then class ends and everyone starts leaving the class. Except me, because I was like in a whole other universe at this point. I was dreaming, I was flying. At this point, me and the teacher are alone in the call. This is the best part! Then the teacher starts talking to me and he's like, Samantha, wake up. Samantha, please. Samantha, you have another class. He woke me up, but I was half awake, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I thought it was my brother waking me up, and I straight up yelled. I was like, shut up, you fat booger. And so then I realized, oh shit, I just called my teacher a fat booger. And now he scheduled a parent conference.
Story time on how my password got leaked onto Roblox. This one day, I was on Roblox. I was maybe around the age 7, 8. I was in those really catchy games, called like Escape McDonald's or Escape whoever, you know? I was in all those like games. I'd always join a server with 3 noobs. Not noobs as in bacon hair. Noobs as in yellow, green, blue skin. I didn't think much about it until this one day. I was in one of those catchy games. As I was in it, I made it to this one part of the stage where I saw 3 of the noobs like huddled together, in a circle. I was kind of confused, like, what's happening, so I was just walking around and, like, investigating or something. I saw them chatting things. I was, like, really, really nervous. You will not believe what they chatted. Like, for part 2. Part 2 on how my password got leaked onto Roblox. As I was investigating the noobs, I noticed they were typing something that I didn't feel comfortable about. They kept on typing my password. Not as in typing like they say it once and then they move on. They typed it like 5 or 6, maybe even more times. As they were typing it, people in the chat were going question mark, question mark. They were on a different level, so I couldn't really see them saying it, but I saw it in the chat. So I kind of felt uncomfortable. I just thought maybe they were talking about something else. It doesn't have to be my password. So I just kept on finishing the obby. Then I made it to this other point, maybe like 5 stages later. I saw the 3 exact same noobs, and they were just sitting by each other like a line. I was wondering, do they have admin to this game or something? But now that I think of it, they were hackers, so of course they did. As they were sitting down, they were leaking my password again. But as they were leaking my password, it came with a little more surprise.
So I used to know this girl who would constantly say things like, guys, sorry, I'm so ugly. I just ruined the whole group photo, I'm sorry. And then everyone would automatically comfort her and be like, no, you're beautiful, you shine. And then she would be like, no, but thank you. And she would do the same thing over and over again, trying to get everyone's attention. So eventually, I got tired. So the next time she came to me saying, I'm so ugly, I was like, you know what? You are. She was like, what'd you say? And I was like, bitch, if you think you're ugly, I can crop you out of the photo. The fuck do you want me to tell you? I'm not the one who made you look like a woolly mammoth.
Parents, you know how when they're in the wrong, they make you feel like you're wrong and they get mad at you for it. On my parents' property in Brazil, we had a lot of fruit trees. So my mother, as a 55-year-old woman, made the executive decision that since there was no fruit on the bottom half of this tree, I'm gonna climb up this bitch. The tree she decides to climb is like 500 feet from the house, okay? All I hear is, ah! Naturally, I ignore it because it's none of my business. All I hear again, ah! My mom waters the plants outside all the time and trips and falls, and she's like, I'm okay. And she always screams. She's dramatic. Outside and check on her, and all I see is her legs. And I'm like, where's the rest of my mother? Is dangling on the tree, y'all. Legs dangling, hanging on by a mother yelling, First I run over there, but she fell before I could get there. Comes me and says, how could you let this happen? Like, I'm the bitch that made her climb the tree. Tells me to pick the rest of the fruit because it's my fault.
In my opinion, miraculous is a tiny bit overrated. I mean, sis, don't get me wrong, I ain't no hater, but it's the same in every freaking episode. You know, someone gets angry, then they get akumatized by Hawk Moth. Then Ladybug and Cat Noir come to the rescue and fight a little bit. And then Ladybug uses her, like, lucky charm, and then they win. Then Hawk Moth, at the end of every single episode, is like, I will get you next time, Cat Noir and Ladybug. Just you wait and see. Miss Girl! Well, it better be soon, Hawk Moth. It's been like 100 episodes, and you ain't even been close. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. He's a little bit of a bitch.
If you're having a bad day, I just thought it'd be nice for you to know that a girl who used to be in my class posted a thing to her story that was like, oh, like, honest opinions about me, please. And she responded to her own story and said, oh my gosh, you're the Heather. Queen Heather. You are the main character. You are so pretty and talented. This would have been fine if she didn't screenshot her own response and post it on her and post it to her story with her username still clearly attached. She was so in character. She was like, oh my god, you guys, stop. Like, why does everyone think I'm the Heather? I can't do this today.
Is it just me, or am I the only one when I'm on YouTube, basically, an ad pops up and it's Grammarly? So, basically, it goes, do you ever need help with your writing? Well, we got the no! No! I don't need help! I've gotten through elementary school, okay? And I'm currently in middle school, so yes! Thank you.
I used to have this art teacher and everyone hated her. She was the biggest bitch, like she was literally so mean and strict, and for what? What was the reason? Anyways, one day she was really testing my limits and she had the motherfucking audacity to rip up and throw away a project I worked on for a week because she said it quote unquote wasn't good enough and that I never even try in her class. Even though I worked so hard on it and I did the best I could. I was mad at her for saying I didn't ever try and that my work wasn't good enough for her, so I was thinking to myself, shut your bubblegum dum dum skin tone chicken bone Google Chrome no homo flip phone disowned ice cream cone garden gnome extra. Chromosome metronome dimidome genome full blown monochrome student blown. Indiana Jones overgrown Flintstone X and Y chromosome friendzone Sylvester Stallone Sierra Leone AutoZone friendzone professionally seen silver patron big headed ass up. And out of anger I grabbed my backpack and said no, I am gonna leave. My way or the highway. And I stormed out of that ugly bitch's class and flipped her off on the way out. I deadass ran out of the school and walked all the way home since I lived close to the school. My mom asked me why I was home early and I told her what happened and she was surprisingly proud of me. So proud that she took me out for ice cream. I was suspended for 3 days for doing that, but oh well, fuck that bitch.
When I was little, I found my mom's credit card and being a 6-year-old, I saw my mom putting the credit card on her phone and I knew how she did it. So, I decided that I was going to put it on my phone. So, I put it on my phone and I was downloading Roblox because I thought, hey, I can play with my friends here. That day, I spent $2,000 worth of freaking money on Robux. Let's just say a lot of my friends thought I was really cool and rich. When my mom found out, I hid from her for seriously like a day, and then once I got in there, she wasn't mad. She just said I was Captain Robux.
When I was younger, I was in Walmart and I was eating a tube of Pringles and I ate them while my mom paid, but I forgot to let the guy scan them, so I walked out the Walmart and the alarm went off and I just started running because I got scared and my mom couldn't find me because I was hiding behind the newspaper things, and the Walmart people called the police because I was missing, and when I hear them show up I thought I was a criminal, so I left my mom a note on the newspaper that said I went to Mexico to start a new life and not come looking for me, and then I took off running with my Pringles and ran for like an hour, and then the cops saw me walking down the road so they pulled over, so I started running again, and then they were using the car intercom thing and they told me to stop running. So when I did, I thought they were gonna put me in handcuffs and take me to jail, so I was crying and I slapped the officer in the stomach and tried to run again, but he just held me back, and when he asked me what happened to me and I told him, he started crying because he was laughing so hard. And he just gave my mom $2 for the Pringles and he was still laughing when he left. And that's the time I was a wanted criminal.
I will never, and I mean never, forget the time that we had a male sub in high school and a girl asked to go to the restroom and he said sure. So she grabbed something and he heard a rapper and he was like, oh, if you're gonna eat candy, you can do it in here, but you have to share with everyone in the class. And she was like, what? And he was like, well, I heard the rapper. And she whips out a tampon, shoves it in his face, and she goes, you want to share? Oh, girl, savage.
So when I was in 4th grade, slime was really popular. It was so popular to the point everyone was making it and people would trade their slimes all the time. I was one of those people. I also did YouTube videos and some of the kids from my school would watch them. I basically did slime tutorials and I would sell my slimes for 50 cents. One time I got a comment from this girl named Augusty Musty. She commented on my video saying how she wanted to buy the slime I made. I said yes, of course. The next day at recess we both met behind the basketball courts. I brought the slime she asked for and told her that it would cost 50 cents. This bitch said she only brought a quarter. She kept demanding me to give her the slime for a quarter, so I had enough. I slapped that hoe in the head with the slime and the slime got stuck in her hair. I started putting more slime in her her hair. Then when it was all in there I yanked the slime out. I swear I ripped so much hair out of her head that she looked like an egg. Her hair came out in clumps and it looked like she had lice and fleas. I pulled her hair so hard it made her shart. She pulled the most clumpy, Donald Trumpy, very lumpy, made her grumpy, Humpty Dumpty, smelled like a dumpy, made roads bumpy, made me thinky, it smelled stinky, made the boys winky, marker inky, wanna linky, I ran far, hit her with a car, went to the bar, twinkle twinkle little star, gave her scars, smoked cigars, sounded like a jaguar, went to Mars, should I have ever seen. She went to the hospital and she turned out to have bowel cancer.
I cannot be the only person that relates to this, but whenever you're doing PE outside at school, oh my god, so great. Sorry. The teacher's like, oh, it's not that cold and it's not that hard. Just run the 17,000 miles. Why don't you run with us, bestie? Come on. Just take off your coat, stand up from that wheelie chair, because I might not know how to do it. So you're the teacher, you're supposed to show us how to do it. So why don't you show me, because somehow I just forgot.
When I was 12 I used to write sexual stories on Wattpad. This boy named Justin Bieber added me as a friend and he had Justin Bieber as a profile picture and everything. He messaged me and said I was cute and that he was the real Justin Bieber. I believed him and we started online dating and I told everyone at school I was dating Justin Bieber and I showed our messages to everyone every day. He said he wanted to meet up after school in the car park and I said okay. I told everyone he wants to meet me after school and everyone got so jealous. I got to the car park and I see a 50-year-old man wave at me and he called me over. I said, do you know where Justin Bieber is? And he said that he's Justin's dad and that he will take me back to his mansion to meet him.
Last night I was lying in bed and I realised something. You know when you hate your siblings? Yeah, we all do. And then you're like, oh, well, you're the adopted one. And you don't really mean it. It's kind of a joke. But, like, my brother's actually adopted. So, I'd be really mean if I went up to him and be like, oh, you're the adopted sibling.
A few days ago my mom asked me if I know what WAP means. She said she sees it all over Facebook and that she's tired of it. I said it means waffles and pancakes and that's what I'm going to make for breakfast. She said oh yum and walked off. I ended up making them because I promised even though I know that's not what WAP stands for. She ate them and loved them and she put a picture up of me when I was making them. She captioned it I just gobbled up my daughter's WAP. It was scrumptious. People were laughing in the comment section and she didn't know why. She was replying back to everyone saying what's wrong with eating my daughter's WAP. The post got removed because of community guidelines.
Who remembers in primary school it would be home time and all the parents are standing outside waiting for the teacher to let you go? And then suddenly a very, very serious crime happens in the classroom. Your teacher has discovered that there is one glue stick without a lid on it. She would say, excuse me everyone, where is the missing glue stick lid? You are not leaving until somebody finds it. Everyone is on their hands and knees, desperate to find the stupid piece of plastic. Like love, it's only a piece of plastic. Nobody wants to steal it. No one wants to sell it. It's worthless.
I'm Debbie and this is my story. One day I was in my English class watching a movie about Shakespeare. I had beans and coffee before school. The most deadliest combination. It wasn't even that long before my stomach started rumbling when I got into class. The movie was really loud and I sat at the back of the class so I thought it would be my perfect chance to let out the most bubbly fart so no one could hear it over the sound of the movie. As soon as I was about to do it my teacher paused the movie to explain a scene and that's when I let out the most soggy doggy, butchered froggy, shit comes out loggy, made the room foggy, so loud you would think it was the 4th of July. I swear to God one kid sitting next to the window opened the blinds because he thought he heard a thunderstorm outside. I dropped my books on the floor in hope of a save, thinking that people would have thought the sound was my books dropping, but that's when the creamy lumps fell out of my pants onto the floor. I ran out crying to the bathroom and called my mom and she took me home and got me new clothes. I had to go back to school the next day and everyone was laughing at me and was calling me Diarrhea Debbie.
Don't tell me you've never had a friend like this. So, you'd be going out with them, like to the park or just for a walk or something, and it just happens that your crush is coming along. You know, you're all excited. You know, everything's fine until your friend and your crush start flirting. And the worst part about it is they know that that is your crush. And they're like chasing each other, telling you embarrassing moments that you trusted them with, and just fully leaving you out of the conversation. And you're just stood there like... But in your head you're like, sis, don't act like I won't just walk home. I don't care if you're in the middle of the forest, okay? Here's another example. You're going out with another friend. It's just supposed to be the two of you. It's supposed to be a nice best friend day. But no, Tracy over there wants to pop along on your nice walk. Then boom, it's like you're not even there. It's like you're a ghost. It's just them two making TikToks together and not even asking you to be in them. You know, friends like this get on my nerves. I swear to God, if you're like this, I actually hate you. And I have lost so many friends to this.
One time when I was little I thought I could talk to trees. Because I had no friends. And I used to sit by them and say things, and one day I was talking to my tree friend called Kevin, and this girl went up to me and said, "Are you talking to that tree, freak?" And I started crying and hugged onto the tree. And while she was laughing, one of the branches fell on the girl's head. Since I don't go to in-person school, I stay online and do school on Zoom. I thought being online was very convenient because I could bring my tablet anywhere with me and still be in school. One time when I was on my lunch break, my mom went to get me a taco from Taco Bell because my other option was McDisgusting, and God knows that I would rather die than to eat that shit. I went to go get my food from the kitchen and went up to join my class because my lunch break was over. I was eating the taco and all of a sudden my stomach started to boom boom shakalaka grumble bumble. In my head I was just like, I can just bring my tablet to the bathroom with me while I shit. So I did that. I placed my tablet against the wall facing me and I took a shit. The shit literally shot out of my asshole faster than the earth could orbit around the sun. I did the most runny gunny, faster than a bunny, bees making honey. It spent my money. I was far from done me. I wasn't funny. Chubby bunny, outside was sunny, extremely smelly, wiggled like jelly, traumatized Kelly, welly belly Nelly, fly in a heli, cell phone telly, scared my cat Shelly, petroleum jelly. People started laughing, but I thought the teacher said something funny. Then the teacher said, "Sophia, you had all of lunch break to use the bathroom and you choose to not only do it during class but to also show us all too." I froze for a good 3 seconds because of how embarrassed I was. I fell face first into the floor and left the Zoom and turned my tablet off. I stayed there with my face in the floor for like 3 minutes just taking in what I just did. I didn't go back to school for like 3 weeks. When I decided to go back, people called me Sophia Diarrhea.
So you know when you're playing Roblox with your friends and they're like, "Oh, what game do you want to play?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't mind, you pick." And they're like, "Oh no, I picked last night, you pick tonight." So you just pick a random game. Let's use Murder Mystery, for example. And you're like, "Oh, let's play Murder Mystery." And then your friend's like, "I don't like that game." Well, don't tell me to pick the game then. If you don't like the game that I want to play, don't ask me to pick the game in the first place if you're not gonna play the game I want to play. So then you suggest another game, like, "Oh, let's play Royal High." I don't like Royal High. No. If you want me to pick the game, you gotta be happy with the things that I tell you. You gotta be happy with the game that I pick. Because if you're just gonna say no to all the games that I pick, what's the point in asking me to pick? Chloe, I know you're probably gonna see this, and I know you're listening to this. I will come for you, and I will find you.
My mom told me and my siblings that she had saved up enough money to buy her dream car. We were like, yes queen period. Anyways, after she picked up her new whip, she took us and we got some yummy McDonald's. My phone was on Bluetooth and we were blasting music and having a full-on karaoke session and all that fun shit, but of course I had to fucking spill my Coke, but my mom said it's no big deal, but I expected a whooping. The next day while she was cleaning her car we had to go outside because we had a cleaner. I was learning the new WAP dance and didn't realize my phone was still on Bluetooth. So this is what my mom heard.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's some wet, that's some wet. And I get a bucket and a mop, that's some wet, that's some wet. I'm talking wop, wop, wop.
My siblings were laughing like, bitch fucking shut up. My mom asked what WAP means and I had to go with the classic, and told her it meant waffles and pancakes, smirking face. The next day she went shopping with my stepdad. Me and my siblings woke up with waffles and pancakes and had a note that said, "Had to go to the shops, hope y'all enjoy the WAP." We were all laughing on. I have a story. One day in 5th grade we were on a field trip. On the bus I was sitting next to this weird girl named Patty McBerry. For some fucking reason Patty was so excited about the trip. We were going to a fucking museum. What the actual fuck, who likes museums? They are so fucking boring. Anyways, halfway through the trip Patty McBerry started coughing viciously. She had a seizure due to overexcitement. She was shaking from happiness for the rest of the ride. When we got there Patty McBerry ran out of that bus faster than coronavirus spreads. She fainted because she was so excited. The tour guide had to hold on to Patty while he showed us around because she was too hyper. Out of nowhere, Patty McBerry broke free and ran right to the live animal section. She went to the gorilla's enclosure and smushed her face against the cage wall. Then out of nowhere she starts climbing up the fucking wall. Patty McBerry jumped into the enclosure and tackled the gorilla out of excitement. The gorilla ate Patty and she died.
Hello everybody, so I don't know if this is just me, but in primary school we used to have this big wooden climbing frame thing. Like, it had ropes and like a ladder rungs so you could kind of climb up it sort of thing. Let me just show you what I mean. Yeah, so that's what I mean, and everybody was always like, "Oh miss, can we use it in PE or games, whatever you want to call it?" And she would always be like, "Okay, we'll use it next lesson, I promise." And let me tell you, we never used that thing. It literally just sat there like it was a piece of display. Like, that thing never moved and nobody ever touched it, so I don't know what that was about.
I swear, it can't be just me. You miss one day of school, and then the teachers let you go home early and it hasn't even been half a day. Ariana Grande shows up to teach your music lesson. There's a massive water balloon fight at lunchtime. All sorts of tea, nothing compared to what you've seen before. Movies in English, along with a school trip to a theme park. You meet famous TikTokers and get their merch for free. And then you never hear the end of the day you missed again.
Time when I was eating a taco with beans in it, my stomach started to grumble bumble. I tried running to the bathroom but I didn't make it in time. I pulled the most sticky icky, came out quickie, please don't licky, azalea iggy, Minaj Nicky, don't tell Vicky, look it up on wiki. It was very sloppy, very floppy, like a grass hoppy, it wouldn't stoppy, give me a moppy, it was very clumpy, extraordinarily bumpy, Humpty Dumpty, Donald Trumpy, made me jumpy, made me grumpy, extremely slimy, made me climby, not so limey, smelled real bad, according to dad, I need a pad, don't tell Chad, made me sad, totally rad, biggest shit I've ever had, not so glad, help me please, made me freeze, gave me fleas, air Febreze, a chew sneeze, ABCs, made me wheeze, it was fast, like a ghast, it long lasted, I need an asshole cast, came out full blast, on the forecast, I was harassed, vigorously smelly, welly deli belly, smelled like New Delhi, looked like a pork belly, Rixie Skelly, don't tell Ellie shit I've ever done, turns out I have bowel cancer.